All right, so we got why doesn't the Imperium just destroy the Tau Empire? Listen, I don't really, be with the Tau Empire like that, but I'm gonna be honest with you. Don't they got like defensive Hall of Fame? Don't they got like Gary Payton and Rudy Gobert at like the box? Yo, their defense is nasty, right?
G'day guys and gal, whatever your
Bro, they got prime Shaquille O'Neal in the paint.
perspective or opinion is regarding how much you like or dislike the Tau, it's no secret that the Imperium is more than capable of wiping them out.
Really?
The Imperium is much larger, has a way bigger military, and often smacks around the Tau pretty hard during their various wars and skirmishes. As the Tau are technically enemies of mankind due to their crime of existing as a Xeno, it does beg the question, why not just wipe them out? After all, the Tau are becoming increasingly powerful and may soon become too powerful for the Imperium to take on, so why delay? Before we get started, my eyes are up here. Although I can't blame you for checking out this dope as fuck Majorkill merch. The merch drop is only around for 4 more days. Before it's gone.
Alright, let's go.
The rise of the Tau has been pretty astronomical. A lot of their tech is notably more advanced than Imperial, Eldar, and even on some level, Necron tech. This is because unlike every other race in the galaxy, the Tau are actually on the rise. They have not stagnated or fallen from grace like literally everyone else, as they haven't been burnt from their own hubris. Yet. Hence, the best time to kill the Tau is when they were a bunch of primitive bovine plane wanderers, and the next best time is now. Before we get into why the Tau Empire has been allowed to continue its existence, let's first look at the conflicts between the Imperium and the Tau and see how those went. The Tau became known to the Imperium when they began attempting to diplomatically assimilate the world's bordering Tau space. The Tau had no idea just how big of a bear the Imperium was, with some of their commanders wanting to crush them militarily, whilst others believed they could assimilate the Imperium of Man into the Tau Empire. Damn, those Tau were cute. They slowly but surely influenced these border worlds that were so far away from main Imperial space that they barely felt a connection to Terra, and the Tau were able to become the de facto rulers of them. This was a huge no-no for the Imperium. Losing worlds to Xeno invasion was one thing, but having worlds declare independence due to Xeno influence was a whole nother kettle of horse shit. With unusual speed, the Imperium amassed an army involving a shitload of guardsmen regiments as well as a few hundred space marines, and sent them over to begin the Damocles Gulf Crusade. The Tau were unprepared for the fury of the Imperium, especially the Space Marines, who would go on to massacre Tau armies.
Got him like these. Got him like these up against the locker. You gonna leave, right? Yeah, I'ma leave. Man. Yo, Imperium, just let him get a world, bro. Just let him get a planet. Why not?
The Tau were especially shocked that the Imperial ships would aim to get in extremely close and unleash broadside batteries, a technique that was so primitive and alien to the Tau that they didn't actually have a counter for it. See, for them, space warfare was something that you did from thousands of kilometers away from each other, shooting long-range torpedoes and lasers. It didn't involve fucking 16th century broadside techniques, boarding actions, or ramming. Likewise, the Imperials were shocked that the Tau didn't have broadsides. From here, the Imperium retook or cleansed world after world, including worlds that had never been under Imperial control in the first place. The Imperium's ruthless genocidal tactics, combined with orbitable bombardments, made short work of Tau colonies. To their credit, the Tau began to quickly adapt and began performing better against the Imperial fleet. However, they were still outmatched and losing the war. The war peaked with a huge ground invasion of the Tau's most populated world encountered so far. It involved Titans, Space Marines, battlesuits, Kroot, the whole shebang. The war was
the whole damn neighborhood. Yo, the hood was down there. Oh my goodness.
pretty epic, and it actually made the Space Marines respect the shit out of the Tau for their tenacity and adaptability in combat. Not too unlike the Ultramarines, they're both blue as well. Hence, when the Inquisition got salty and wanted to just exterminate us the world, the Imperial commanders refused. As the war was grinding to a stalemate, word came that a new threat called the Tyranids had arrived in the galaxy and were fucking shit up. Hence, the Imperial forces withdrew after reaching a peace agreement with the Tau. So from first impression, a single relatively small Imperial—
You know what though? Here's the thing, bro. Like the Tau, they were unprepared and everything. Now, to be fair, is being unprepared and not ready the same thing? No. We don't know if these guys were like not ready, but like they were still like on guard. But at the same time, let's keep it real for what it is. They kind of, I don't want to say that, listen, I don't want to, give the Tau too many props, but for a species that's like, that wasn't really ready, for them to still, hold it down, for them to, to have like some type of like, peace treaty or whatever. Respect. But then the Tyranids came through, was like, yo, stop worried about them. Worry about us. Yo, we're eating everything, bro. We're eating all types of booty, planets, and everything. Yo, come worry about us. Don't worry. Yo. How about you go piece it up with them? Because if you don't piece it up with them, it's over. It's done. It's GG's. We're taking everything. Yo, make as many partners as you can.
A fleet without reinforcements and without that many Space Marines was able to fuck up multiple Tau worlds and fleets, only withdrawing due to promised reinforcements never arriving and the Tyranids becoming a thing. Over time, the Tau would adapt and become significantly more militarized with way better tech that they would use to fight against the Imperium, but the first impression didn't look very good for them. There would be other conflicts, most notably during the Third Sphere expansion, where Commander Shadow Sun herself would take on the Imperium's forces, even slaying the chapter master of the Raven Guard. But once again, this was like a spittle of cum compared to the might of the Imperium's armies, with only a few hundred White Scars and Raven Guard alongside other Imperial army elements facing off against the full might of the Tau Empire. Sure, the Tau did win more than they lost this time round, but it was a close run thing and a shitload of them died. Once again proving that while they put on a good show, the Tau was seriously punching above their weight, and if the Imperium was to send a serious armada with a number of full chapters, elite regiments and titans, then the Tau would be pretty fucked. So why don't they? After all, the Imperium has sent huge forces against significantly stupider targets. I mean, the Abyssal Crusade was made up of thousands of Space Marines, and it was the fucking dumbest shit ever. It really comes down to two things. A, the Imperium is low-key allied to the Tau Empire, and B, there are much bigger fish to fry with the effort required to wipe out the Tau not being worth it at all. Allow me to elaborate. The Tau are in the corner of the galaxy, away from Imperial space and not threatening any key worlds. All the worlds bordering the Tau Empire are backwater who gives a fuck worlds, frontiers, not pillars of Imperial authority. On top of that, the Tau act as great exterminators for other threatening races. They kill a shitload of orcs and keep the local Necron dynasties busy. Not to mention they are also highly effective against Tyranids. The best part is that the Tau is super diplomatic.
Hey Tau, hey, y'all just got some points, y'all was taking out orcs. We love it.
Inquisition having hundreds of secret alliances and pacts with the Tau government. Overall, the Tau are just a straight up asset. If the Imperium was to steamroll them, suffering massive casualties in the process, and then try to recolonize the new worlds, more likely than not, Necron, Tyranid, Orc, and Dark Elder forces would rush in and massacre the weakened and overstretched Imperial forces, meaning the Imperium would need to send even more armies to garrison their new worlds.
Damn.
So they would basically be expending a lot of resources to wipe out a race of aliens that are doing all the heavy lifting for them. Something, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. The second, and arguably more important aspect, is the fact that the Tau Empire only became known to the Imperium at a similar time to the arrival of the Tyranids, as well as the resurgence of the Traitor Legions, not to mention the rise of Gazkul and the awakening of the Necrons. The war for Armageddon had begun. Abaddon's black—
Hey, we need to do a video on that. If anybody has a video on the War of Armageddon, yo, we need to do a video on that one. We gotta do a video on like the Khorne and Orc, whatever. What else we gotta do a video on? We gotta do a video on a bunch of things, y'all. I know y'all think that I'm covering a lot of lore, bro. I ain't even close.
Crusades begun to heat up, and Ultramar was brought to the brink by High Fleet Behemoth. The Tau were just very low on the list of priorities. Since then, the Imperium hasn't had time to breathe. With the galaxy being cut in half by the Great Rift, a fuck-off huge Tyranid incursion, the return of the Silent King, and Gazkul being on the move with like 100 billion Orc warriors at his back, it just doesn't make sense. There would be absolutely zero logic to looking at all these threats and then deciding to commit a fuck-off huge armada full of thousands of the Imperium's best warriors to go attack the Tau. Doing so would leave countless worlds open to invasion as opposed to the Tau, who are mostly keeping to themselves. Sure, they do expand here and there, but with their warp travel capabilities being pretty mid, their version of expansion is a handful of worlds at a time.
Majorkill, you better chill out, bro. You better chill out. Hey, whenever you, hey, if you hear, a snack crackle and pop, I promise you, it's not Rice Krispie treats, bro. Yo, if you hear a couple guns loading up outside the house, yo, remember, you said what you said.
If the Tau Empire had appeared a few millennia prior, let's say maybe in the 38th millennium, then sure, the Imperium would have crushed them without issue, as at that time, there were no Tyranids, Necrons, and hardly any chaos. It was mostly just the occasional skirmish with the weakened Orcs or Eldar. The Imperium could have thrown every spaceman in the galaxy at the new Tau Empire without issue, but these days, it's all hands on deck. Think of it like this: we still don't have a single scene of Guilliman even worrying about the Tau Empire because of how low on the list of problems they are. He's busy dealing with his demonic Primarch brothers and
bro, he always busy, bro. Hey, G-Thug is always busy. One thing I'ma always give G-Thug, bro. He's always got his head on right. He's always busy. Unlike the other dude. What's the other guy's name? I kind of forgot his name. What's his name again? The Lion, right? Yeah, he's a little bit he's forgettable. Yo, G-Thug, yo, Hey, I gotta put respect on his name, yo. No lie.
Of Tyranid hordes. So all up, it's not even remotely worth it to wipe out the Tau. Not only would that destroy an asset against the darkness, but it would cost so many resources and lead to the loss of countless Imperial worlds to other races that no longer had armies to defend them.
Oh my god, KSI, what you doing up here?
Speaking of which, what about the other races? Could they take out the Tau? Sort of. The Tau are really far away from Chaos strongholds, with the one instance of them fighting the Death Guard going surprisingly well for the Tau, with their long-range weaponry being solid against the Death Guard's slow advance. Most Necron dynasties aren't really about mass expansion, more so just defending their lawns, so whilst there are battles here and there, it's just not an existential threat. Dark Eldar just raid shit, and Cryfelders see the Tau as an asset that can be used against the more evil races. The Leagues of Votan are allied with the Tau as well. Orcs love attacking the Tau, however they aren't coordinated enough to do any real damage, with most orcs now going to spicier war zones.
Yeah, we love those. Yeah. Yo, the fail of the orcs. Yo, I'm cheering and I'm clapping for every single failure of the orcs. No lie, yo.
Closer to the middle of the galaxy. Tyranids enjoy having a go at Tau worlds, but the Tau are proving to be ingenious in their defense, coming up with bioweapons that can destroy entire Tyranid fleets. Here is the best way to describe it. If you have a wild hog running around and ruining your garden, as well as a spiky porcupine just sitting in the corner, keeping the hog away from its own area, are you going to go out and punch the porcupine or the hog? The Tau or the porcupine? The hog is all the other shit. Punch the fucking hog. If you enjoyed the video and you want to support the channel,
Yo, what was that? Yo, what was that example at the end? Shout out to Majorkill, man. Yo, the Tau. Yo, Tau. Yo. You got a lot of props for me, man. Comment down below. What do you guys think about this one? Make sure you guys follow my socials down below. See you guys later. Peace out.